Dr. Anderson here, and I'm here with Molly and Jennifer. Jen? And they're out in Washington State. We're going to talk tonight about this is right after workday here in Colorado. They're out in Washington State, and we're going to talk a little bit about nerve symptoms that can be partly or maybe fully related to the COVID vaccine. So she has a very interesting story. And they came all the way from Washington State, like some people do. They come here from out of state to seek solutions for things like restless legs and neuropathy. So, and I'm just going to let you start talking and kind of get into the story of what brought you here. You know, maybe what you tried, what you'd found out, other doctors you'd seen, just the whole gamut, and just take it from the very beginning. Okay?
Okay, will do. So I started out with some foot pain, mostly in my left. Had burning, tingling, kind of was starting to have a drop foot. What else would you say?
Some numbness.
Numbness, for sure. Saw 2 different doctors, had 2 different back surgeries because they thought it was a nerve that was being pinched.
Your S1 nerve in your lower back.
Yes.
But
so 2 surgeries that didn't take away the nerve pain. Waited a little while. They said it was just going to take time. In between then, Jen found you on YouTube, and at first I was like, okay, we'll just see.
Right.
Okay, you know, it's kind of
right.
We'll just see. So
we'll
little
just
time,
see.
and I was still not getting better. And we set up a time to meet with you online, and we did our first visit. Even we got my parents to come on, so they listened in, and
but that was all about 2.5 years prior to us even reaching out to you.
Yes.
So I did a good 2.5 years research, and
before you reached out to me.
Well,
yes.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, I did. This is news to me. I didn't know that.
Well, and then for me, seeing her on a daily basis and
right.
seeing her decline, and us getting no answers from neurologists, rheumatologists, back surgeon, orthopedic surgeon,
right.
podiatrists. Like, we had seen everybody up here in Washington, and then
When was the dateline of this? When did you have your back surgery? The symptoms started when?
2021 was my first surgery, and then 9 months later I had my second. I had 2 surgeries within 9 months.
Okay.
Of
2.
each other. Yeah, and then afterwards we started doing all these other doctors because that wasn't working, and I'm like,
and how did the vaccine implicated with some of this? That's
well, I can't remember. Well, I have it in my little card, but I got that in 2021, and I think it was right in between those 2.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, it was mostly.
So in other words, you did have some nerve symptoms.
Yes, I had some nerve symptoms.
But then that really escalated it.
Yes,
that's the point.
I mostly had them in my left.
Okay.
And then I started to get them in my right.
Okay. And it was
with
the
like,
time frame was wasn't it like within a month of vaccine?
Yeah. Yes, and that it was in between those 2. After those 2 surgeries that I started to get it in my right. And after follow-upping with them, they're like, oh, you're just overcompensating. You're trying to figure out, you're trying to help that size, you're overcompensating. Okay. And I'm like, I'm getting the same burning, the same tingling, the same aches and pains in my leg and like below my knee. And I just was terrible with it. She's like, I'm not going to put leg spasms. I'd be sitting there watching TV and you could see my foot jump every once in a while.
You had never had restless leg symptoms?
No.
Before.
And she'd seen you on YouTube, and none of the doctors we had seen that never heard of nerve decompression. They thought we were crazy. They had no clue what that was.
Had you thought back then about COVID or vaccine or not?
No. She probably did.
Probably did.
You did. Okay. You're suspicious.
I mean, there's been neurological problems in a lot of people.
Right.
What is happening in their body is always different, but why wouldn't that affect somebody's feet or legs or whatever else the case?
So the vaccine, what's that, Jen?
I was thinking that maybe there was a common denominator there, because why would it go into her second leg? And but she was just getting worse and worse.
it was in the one leg, and then after the first surgery, right?
Both surgeries. Then I started getting it into the second leg, and I think both of them
and
tried to blame
was when?
In between there.
In between, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they were thinking it was a neurologist. Like, you need to go see a neurologist. Maybe you're dealing with an autoimmune condition. So we went down that.
Things just kept escalating.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So we're about 6 to 8 weeks out of my second surgery. Is that right? It was late June, something like that. Anyways, I got my first pedicure in 4 years because I couldn't have my feet touched or legs touched. That's big.
Right. Your legs are very sensitive. So you're now, how much better are you, would you say, overall?
I'm sleeping better. I would probably only get about 3 hours a night, maybe 3 hours total, and I'd have to get up and go walk around or go sleep somewhere else or go try to move or maybe ice or whatever it is. I'm getting them up about 8 hours, I'd say now.
Nice.
I'm walking better. I went on a site visit with some coworkers at a job site, and the one guy goes, "You are walking so much better." He goes, "I'm having a hard time keeping up with you."
Yeah, because I remember when you came, I was very impressed with how bad you were walking. You had, I'm sorry, Mike, I forgot. Were you have a wheelchair, a walker when you came?
I was just about there. I did not have not have a walker with me that day. I had one.
Very difficult time walking.
I kept it in the car.
Right.
But I need to do some PT. I haven't gotten that far, which I'm looking forward to. There's been some. It's been hard for me to get in. Plus, I had a family wedding to go to, so it was partly my fault and partly their fault. But I was able to wear my cowboy boots to the wedding. That was my goal. It was an outdoor wedding, and my nephew, everyone was wearing cowboy boots. So that was my goal, to be able to get out of surgery and get home and heal enough to be able to wear them, because it was just this past weekend. So that was August 10th.
Right.
So that's good.
If somebody's listening to this and it's for the first time, what would you want? What would the message be to them, especially if they're suspicious? I mean, what was your experience? Did you say to any doctors, or did it come up in the conversation about the vaccine or anything?
None of them wanted to hear one word about it. Nope, not a possibility.
I mean, did they just deny it, or what was the comment?
Nope, that can't be it.
Because I would ask the question, like, could this be a concern?
Right.
And it would be no, there's no conversation about it. No, it was safe and effective. And then you kind of, well, then the appointment ends, right?
Right. Okay.
So, and I was not going to get it. It was either lose your job or get it. I tried everything not to get it.
So what would you say? I mean, there's got to be some people out there listening that would like to hear from you. I mean, what would you say to them? Because it's, as a patient, people, and rightfully so, and when doctors are respected, and I think most of us are trying to do the right thing, but
it's
in that
terrifying.
era, it's got to be very annoying, and you're being told you're wrong, and it's got to make you feel like you're crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's terrifying, and you got to pay the mortgage. I mean, it's like either one, you have no other choice what to do, but I didn't want to get it.
Right.
But, I do think it had a big impact on how I went downhill versus uphill. I mean, why did neither of these back surgeries help me?
Right.
My nerves just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
What compelled you to come here?
This one.
Me.
This one. Okay.
So we set up that.
No, I literally watched probably all of your videos, and seeing the hope in your other patients.
Okay.
Is what I was wanting her to see, because everywhere else we went, it was just like
there was no hope.
There's no hope. You're going to be in pain like this. You're going to be on medications for the rest of your life. You're going to have to up your medications for the rest of your life.
Right.
She was having brain fog. We're like, we're not doing that route.
Right.
I'm not putting her in a wheelchair at 50.
Hey, I'm only 40.
Okay.
I'm 48.
But those were my motivations to seek other help.
And I mean, she looks. You're a very fit-looking lady. I mean, when you came, you looked like you were an ex-athlete of some sort. But I was like, my gosh, you just didn't perform. I mean, it's hard to walk. Your balance was terrible. It sucked.
Terrible.
Your balance was really bad.
Yeah, I couldn't bend over and get anything off the ground. I had to hang on to something, definitely, like hang on, and then I could slowly bend over. But my family couldn't believe, like, helping even setting up with the wedding and stuff. I was walking all over my tennis shoes, and they were like, so you just need to sit down? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good to help.
I do think she has noticed when she's not as active, she does get some of the symptoms, but when she's more active, she feels a lot better.
When I'm just sitting around and being lazy.
But overall, the trending's really good now. Your majority of the symptoms are going away, and it sounds like you still have a little bit of weakness, but it's not as bad as maybe
not
before.
Nearly. And I'm thinking, I can't wait to see what the PT is going to help with.
Physical therapy, massage therapy.
Yeah,
we can only go up from here.
Yeah,
that's something we recommend. When you have these surgeries done, and just for people listening, we don't probably need to show your legs. It might be a little bit logistically hard to do.
I can do it.
Surgery is done on both legs, and if you can pop your leg up there, maybe try it. I guess just for fun.
I'm sitting on a chair.
But I mean, you'll probably see some scars. There's 3 different incisions. Yeah, go down a little bit more.
I can't see where.
Yeah. Well, one's on the inside of the upper calf, and then there's 2 on the outside.
Can you see it there?
I sucked
can't see it there quite. There you go. There's the one there. One down lower. That's a common perineal nerve, and then if you flip your leg the opposite way, there's one on the inside the soleal plane. That's on the. Go down. Go point down a little bit more. Yeah, there's an incision down lower, right about that area. Okay, I mean, for folks watching, you kind of get the general idea, but those are nerve tunnels, and I think the theory is, because I can't absolutely prove this, but I think what happens is people may already have some tightness in those tunnels. Right. They have something like the COVID vaccine, and we've seen this a little bit with chemotherapy too. The toxicity of whatever the agent is, and in this case, maybe it's the vaccine, it makes those nerve tunnels, the nerves more sensitive to the existing compression that was there. And if we go in and release the pressure, nerves don't like pressure. And by decompressing those nerves, you're going to get fulfillment and get a lot better. So I don't know if there's anything else you guys want to say, but man, you were awesome to work with. I wanted so much to help you because you were really suffering. And thank God you're doing better.
I'm on the road to recovery, that's for sure.
What's that?
I'm on the road to recovery, that's for sure. I'll check back in with you after I've had some PT, maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe in a few weeks.
So any parting words or anything? And Jen, thank you because you didn't lose hope for her. And,
no, he didn't lose hope. I lost hope.
Okay.
Kept pushing me.
Was there one point in her journey where something just flipped in your mind for either one of you when it had sometimes you get to the depths of, darkness or whatever, pain and misery. Was there something that triggered you to come here that just absolutely convinced you this is the right way to go?
I guess in my mind, it was nothing to lose.
Right.
I had great insurance, even though I'm out of state. My insurance covered quite a bit of it, even though at the time you got great people in your office that really.
Please say hi to Rhonda.
She was awesome.
Okay.
All the people in your office
Everybody
were awesome.
was great.
But she just really, the gal with the office staff, she really dug in and it just exhausted everything.
Right.
With trying to get help from insurance, and she did. It was really nice to have that happen.
The whole experience was great.
Okay. Well, I better let you go, guys. But, really appreciate you sharing, and you were great to work with. And for those of you watching this for the first time, realize that there is some hope if you've had some nerve injury from the vaccine. That it's real. It's out there. Yep. And that's kind of why I wanted you guys to get on to let more and more people know, hey, it's the real deal. And it can happen. And it's not something, I think as time goes and we're further away from that time period, people are talking more about it and talking about it more freely. And I appreciate you getting on and sharing your story. And if you're watching, just make sure you know we're on Facebook. And go to Anderson Podiatry Center and learn more about what we do. I have a book out there called A Perfect Night's Sleep. It's another way you can learn a little bit more about how we help people with restless legs also. So, all right.
There is hope. So,
okay.
There is hope.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot.
Bye.
Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
You too. Bye.